All right, back for part three. Back for more.
Back for the 13th game of the day, which pits YJ Grazade Stadler, the top YJ 27 team, against the Mount Sinai Mustang Ladies, the number one recruit in the country.
That's right.
I don't know if she's playing though, Alexa, because her
I,
name.
I was gonna I was gonna say the same thing. I don't know if she is either. That that's a huge deal though.
Yeah, let's get her healthy though, right? They need her. They need her in the spring. They don't really need her in the winter.
Yeah, absolutely.
They got some dudes though. We'll talk. You want to start with the Stangs with the Carinante crew and Peyton Chalma and Sophie Masson and Orlando. I mean, they got some Romeo and Schertzer, and obviously Spallina leads the band.
Yeah, I mean you kind of just rattled off a bunch of names there, but yeah, you got Carinante, the pit commit, the senior midi. You got Choma going to Quinnipiac, another senior. How about Sophia Masson, just a sophomore at attack, the lefty attacker? I uh I I'm expecting a lot from Masson. Like
Yeah,
getting to see her last year and then really a lot over the summer. Just at different events, whether it was Juniors Open or American Select. Just getting to see her all over the place. Like I'm expecting big things from the lefty Sophia Masson. Like I feel like she's one she can just kind of like play off Spallina, kind of be like that catch and shoot sniper type of player. So I think she's gonna be filling it up a lot.
yeah, I agree. I agree. She's definitely gonna, and she's very talented. The Orlando kid is also talented. Orlando recently committed, right?
Yeah, she's going to UMass.
Oh, cool. She's going with Breezy.
Mm-hmm.
A little twofer, Orlando and Hanky. Good, I like it. And then Romeo's a 26. Got the Coach Hirsch, a good little midi. Schertzer. Which Schertzer going? Pitt?
Yeah, Schertzer's going to Pitt.
Yep. And Spallina's going to Cuse to fill out the Cuse. Now we have to get Olivia to Cuse, and we'll have all five Spallinas at Cuse.
That's right.
I think Olivia's in only third grade though, so she's got a little bit of time. Let's
Yeah.
talk about the 27 YJ team because that team's loaded.
Yeah, that's another one of the stacked teams on the club circuit. I mean, players like Julianne Bresky
Oh, she's a
at attack
absolute. She's a tough cover, dude.
big time.
She killed it as an eighth grader on Farmingdale's varsity.
Yeah, that was a team that went to the county final.
Yeah, she arguably was one of their top kids. Her
Mm-hmm.
and Brown and Belando were probably the two best offensive players, along with Kelly. I mean, they had some. They had plenty of kids, but Bresky was an eighth grader putting up major numbers.
Yeah.
Then Maddie Her, we talked about a little bit with Shoreham. She's in the
Mm-hmm.
midfield with Aaliyah Leonard, the Ward Melville girl. And then there's a couple kids that they got who I love. The kid Dylan McNamara, the Sayville kid.
Yeah, I know Dylan.
She's a player. She can play. Um, I like Jaden Stadler at the lefty attack. She needs to score more. It's funny. There's an old story that a Hopkins coach once told me when they used to scout, they used to call feeders zippers. I don't know why, but and they used to say, "Don't slide on this kid because he just feeds."
Mm-hmm.
If Stadler ends up scoring goals, she's going to be unstoppable. Because she's an excellent feeder, but she's got to score
Yeah.
more goals because otherwise there's no reason to slide. She sees the field really well.
Mm-hmm.
And then we talked about Olivia Brady a little bit, the Bayport kid.
Talked about
Natalie
Brady.
Burns, another kid. I mean, this team's in the net. How do you say Emery's last name? DeLawson?
You know, that's what I roll with. I hope it's correct. I don't want to be saying it wrong on the broadcast.
Yeah, defensively, they got Quinlan Helbron, top defender. Reagan O'Connor, another Farmingdale kid who played as an eighth grader.
Yeah.
Sierra Rippey, who's a St. Anthony girl. Who else is there? Oh, sugar. I had a doctor's appointment I missed.
Oh my God.
I made a boo-boo. All right, don't get mad at me. I just forgot. I'm gonna get yelled at by my wife. Anyway, moving on. I just that this team is a young team, but I'm very curious to see how they stack up against some of the better varsity programs.
Yeah, it's interesting because when I think of this team, I think of YJ Manning from last year. They were that freshman team, came in going up against high school programs. And we saw them like they competed. Like they hung around. If I remember correctly, I think it might have been like their first game. It was a blowout. But then after that, they kind of took off.
Well, they probably opened up against Bayport.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, you're opening up against the team that was going to be the state champ. It's like, I don't care how good your freshman club team is. You're not beating the state champs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that just shows you, the window. They're starting against Mount Sinai, which is a perennial powerhouse. Obviously, if they don't have Alexa, that'll be a big loss. But the most important thing, and hopefully parents understand this, it's about development. It's about getting better. It's, we talked last year. I'll never forget this. The girl, Olivia Brady, who's now on this particular club team, was playing on Bayport's JV. And her first game, she was like a deer, in the headlights. She was like learning the speed of the game. By her fourth and fifth game, she was dominating.
Mm-hmm.
It's just developing and building the confidence and understanding that. And that's what parents have to understand. This is not about winning and losing. This is about improving and getting better and developing your game. And part of that is your mental aspect. As we all know, that part of the game is more important in many cases than physical. Because if you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to perform to the best of your ability.
Yep.
And that, I thought Olivia Brady last year was one of those kids that grew in the 6 weeks that we run this league. And I mean, obviously she was good enough to make one of the top club teams. So her ability is there. So I just think it's important that parents understand confidence is important, but more important is development. The old saying, what's the old saying? It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yep.
So understand that. We'll jump from the 4 p.m. game to the 4:45 game. This game excites me.
This is a juicy matchup right here.
Yeah, this could be a Long Island championship game.
Well, you say that. I don't think it is because I don't think Manhasset is in that conference anymore.
Oh, they're in B now?
I believe so.
So they have to battle Garden City.
I believe so. I'm almost positive.
Ooh, we have to get the skinny on that. That's big news. So who's the best C school? Wantagh?
Maybe Cold Spring Harbor. I would probably go with them.
Oh, they're not D. I heard they're doing D this year. Someone told me they're doing D again.
I gotta check.
There's a lot of mixed messages coming from the lacrosse. We'll have to go on the New York State website and see if they posted anything.
I gotta check my sources. I gotta get on my Adam Schefter type.
You know we could get this information from in 2 seconds. Coach Gick.
Oh. Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna text Coach Gick right now. Hopefully he's home with his 2 little cutie pies. And you start going through the Sayville Manhasset game, and I'm gonna get the scoop by the time we get through this.
All right, so we'll start with Sayville because Sayville, they have some players. They have one of the must-watch players in the 26 class, Sophia Buffardi. Like, she can absolutely take over games. We've seen it happen. The midfielder, she can do it all on the draws. Excuse me. As a goal scorer, like dodging, catch and shoot, whatever you want. Like Sophia Buffardi is it. So like between her and then also on this team you got Abby Galaris also from the midfield. How about Sophie Cangelosi? the
Ooh.
Michigan commit, the junior. Also Julia Lilienthal, another 26 in the net. I think she's one of the top 2026s on the island.
Yep.
McKenna Farrell at attack, going to Marquette. She's a senior. Two defenders that I say like don't sleep on them, which you and I don't, but Courtney Thornton, the senior, going to Jacksonville. Then Lucy Livingston, the junior, going to USF.
Yeah.
Got to see Lucy a lot over the summer.
New coaching staff too. We got to talk
Yeah,
about Coach Gary Jensen taking over the what are they? The Sayville Golden Flashes? Is that their logo?
Yep.
Coach Gary, I think, will do a good job with these guys.
Yeah, Sayville, because they have the talent to be right there in Class C. Like they're right there. Like that's another team that I think you can say like they've kind of underperformed the last couple years, like losing in the semis, but they have the talent to be right there. Like it would not be a shock if you get a Sayville Bayport County final.
So yeah, that's what I'm curious about is the bracket breakup, and how they're breaking them up this year. Because I did hear on the boys' side that Manhasset was moving up. You don't always move up, both boys and girls, because it goes by how many boys are in the high school and how many girls.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like most excuse me, most of the programs, like they're in the same conference, like boys and girls, but I know there are a few. Like I think Southside's one. I think like girls has been C the last couple of years, whereas boys has been B. So you make a good point. So we'll need to find out where Manhasset lies.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see because that's now jumping into the Manhasset roster. It looks like they just took seniors and girls that played varsity last year. There aren't a lot of there aren't a lot of
this is a seasoned roster.
Yeah, most of these kids are seniors. I mean, Perfetto, we know she's going to Loyola, top midfielder. Panzik, she's going to Vanderbilt. Newman's what, Cornell?
Yeah, Newman's going to Cornell.
Pinto's USC.
Going to USC.
Jean Coppolis, where's she going?
Jean Coppolis, I think you're right.
Chun's Dartmouth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Siamis, we talked earlier, University of Chicago, St. Genus, George Washington. I'm looking at the list. So you got a lot of Division I kids here. They got in the net Hannah Rubin and Landman. So they it looks like they just took the oldest kids from Manhasset to play, which is a smart idea.
Mm-hmm.
They got enough kids.
Yeah, this is another one though. This is another game. Like could be one of the best games of the day.
Yeah, Coach Kick says he doesn't believe that they moved.
Okay. So I stand corrected on that.
He's heard mixed things too, though. So nothing is in writing yet. They haven't decided. We'll get the scoop and share it with America, Lacrosse America. Jumping to the next game.
We got Wantagh, Huntington.
Yeah, you got Wantagh, Huntington. That's an interesting matchup, huh?
Yeah, Huntington just did a little preview on Huntington last night.
They got some young kids playing for Huntington.
I noticed that. I mean,
they got
good amount of eighth graders that are going to be on their roster.
Yeah, who's their upperclassmen that are top notch? Weinschreider.
Yeah, well, you got Weinschreider. Yeah, she's the sophomore, 26. She's one of those. I like to call players like her like stat sheet stuffers, meaning like they can fill it up across the board.
Yeah,
like draw controls, ground balls, goals. Like she can just fill it up across the board. So I'm on the Jolie Weinschreider bandwagon. But Kaylee Bender, the senior at attack, she's going to Hofstra.
Nice.
You also got Bridget Calorie. She's another sophomore on their attack.
Yeah, a lot of these girls are sophomores and younger. I know
Mhm.
McDonald, she's a freshman. Ava,
Yeah,
I know her game. Leighton Evans, I know her game. Andy DeJoya was the goalie last year as an eighth grader, who I thought played
yeah,
very well for Huntington.
yeah. And that's very difficult, kind of getting like thrown into the fire like that as an eighth grader, especially like as a goalie. Definitely
Yeah, I thought you
not
did a
an
good
easy
job.
task.
Reese Rinaldi's an upperclassman. And then we go into Wantagh. We talked about Sandoval, who stepped up. And where did you say Sandoval was going to college?
She's going to Bing.
Another Bing commit. And then I'm looking at little Ingrilli's going to Maryland, right?
Yeah, and Grilly's going to Maryland, the defender. You have Sarasi, the midi. She's going to JMU.
Yeah.
You
Is
have
Riley Fordhofer, is she commit yet?
I'm sorry.
Riley Fordhofer?
Oh, that's a good question. Have to do the research on that.
I'm gonna go Google it myself. There's Riley. Albany, baby.
There you go. The Great
Great Dane.
Danes.
Ooh, nice commit picture. I love the Great Dane logo. Love it. Yep, you got Wantagh does not go away. They got kids coming up. You got sister combos here, Dragos. I'm looking at the names on the rosters. I'm
Yeah,
very curious to see. I would give the edge to Wantagh because they have more upperclassmen.
yeah. They have more like seniors, juniors, sophomores as well. Yeah, Huntington, they definitely have more younger players like freshmen and eighth graders. So yeah, I would also give the edge to the more seasoned team.
The next game at 6:15 is a game that when I was printing the paperwork, getting ready for the stat sheets, I was like, this is a game that I think will be a really good game. Long Beach Commack.
Two new teams in the league.
Both excellent programs.
Yeah, they both have a lot to look forward to in the spring season for sure. Like let's start with Long Beach because Long Beach, they gotta feel like they've been knocking on the door the last couple of years here. Now it's tough when you lose a generational type of player like Delaney Raiden, but with that being said, this team still has plenty of talent. I mean, you
Oh
got
my God, do they ever? That kid Chernoff's a
yeah,
stud.
yeah, Delaney Chernoff going to Colorado. The
She's going
Rock,
to Denver,
yeah, Denver, Colorado.
the University of Denver, who was a Final Four team last year. Let's not
Yep.
forget that. Which is she's probably the best lacrosse player from Long Island to go to Denver since there was a Bayshore girl, Leggio. If you go back into the Denver um, record books, you're going to see Christy Leggio from Bayshore. I think she might be back then. She was the all-time leading scorer in the early 2000s. She was a Bayshore girl. I think she went to Maryland first and then transferred to Denver. But that was the last star. Like Delaney Chernoff is very good. So like I think she's going to kill it there. That's a big pickup
Yeah,
for Denver, if you ask me. Good for her. That's a
yeah,
cool.
she's a sick athlete.
Yeah, they got some kids. Where's Ava Main going?
She's going to JMU.
Yeah, another stud athlete.
How
They
about
got some.
how about the defender teamer?
Oh, I love that kid. The
Yeah,
freshman.
yeah,
Yeah, she's an outstanding defender. She's very good. And then Taryn Morris, who's only just started her junior year, another very good midfielder. And then the
yeah.
sophomore
Committed.
is we saw last year on the Manning team, Killfeather,
Yeah,
Skylar Killfeather.
yeah. Sky Killfeather.
That's a cool name, Skylar Killfeather. That's like an American Indian name, no?
You know, I I didn't think of it like that, but you could be onto something.
Yeah, she might have some. We might have to. She might have some American Indian, little Navajo going there.
I think we got to get some type of all name team.
Oh, Skylar Killfeather is definitely on that team. There's no doubt. Yeah, you got some dudes. And then let's go to Commack. Commack got a stud back from St. Anthony's this year.
That's right. They got Aubrey Marr back going to Utah.
UConn. UConn.
That's a big pickup.
It is a big pickup. That's like making a trade, and you're going, we just got better with that trade.
A trade without actually giving up anything.
Yeah. Well, you don't know. I have to ask Coach Reed. Maybe she did give something up. Maybe she gave like St. Anthony's like a brand new gross of yellow balls. Right? We'll give you balls for the season. We want Aubrey back. But they got some talented kids on this team. Amelia Bright.
Yeah, Amelia Bright, Lily Pettit, both going to Stony Brook.
That's great. That's big for Joe getting those two.
Yeah. You got the senior Emma Hendry. Hendry going to Army.
Yeah, she's a beast. She's a beast.
They have some young guns on this team though too.
Yeah, where's Kate Hearns going? I love that kid.
Yeah, Kate Hearns, she's going to Bucknell.
Dude, I like that kid a lot. That's a good pickup for Bucknell. I also like Bella Campa. I mean, this kid's under the radar. You're talking about the young guns like Sammy Benedict, Ashley Arizonas.
Yeah.
They're eighth graders, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got some eighth graders playing varsity, which is it. You know what's good though? They got some really good mentors. The young ladies, because this is a good group of kids. You know, having like Amelia Bright as a mentor, or Hendry, or Hearns, you know, that's good. Who's in the net for them this year?
I think that's the question. Because
I don't know. I don't know their goaltender.
Well, yeah, because their previous goalie, she graduated. Bradley.
Yeah, she was good. She played well.
Yeah, she's going to Mercy, I believe. Or she's at Mercy.
Oh, really? She's at Mercy?
That's right. The Mercy Mavs.
Yeah, D2 powerhouse. I just saw two girls, a Miller Place girl, which we'll talk about in the next game, commit to East Stroudsburg, which is a really good D2 program, which I thought was interesting. And they're committing earlier and earlier now, which is interesting. I guess we could jump into that. Is it the 7:00 game? It might be the 7. Yes, the 7:00. The last girls' game of the day is Miller Place against the free agent team, which we're calling Excelsior. And the only reason we're doing that is because I have Excelsior jerseys that they could wear. And thought it's a nice name. Excelsior means excellent, right? The state of New York.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Miller Place Panthers because they got some dudes.
Yeah, I mean one girl that we like going back to last year. How about Mirabella Altabrando, the 25 attacker?
She had a breakout winter league. That's where we really fell in love with that kid, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With her sister in the net who's at Stony Brook, and then she was killing it on the offensive side. And then the kid Coffee, she's going to Stony Brook, right, Olivia?
Mm-hmm. I believe.
And the girl I was talking about is going to East Stroudsburg, is the one we can never pronounce her name. Angie, come on, you go, because I screw it up.
No, I can't. I can't say it.
Stetho? She tried to help me with it. We need the phonetic makeup of that name.
Angie, if you're listening, please send a voice recording in the LILJ DMs of how to pronounce your last name.
Because we love the way you play lacrosse and we want to say your name the correct way. Let's not forget about the Manhattan Jasper, Maddie Hall, the defender, who's a senior captain. She's an excellent defender. And Avila Negro, who's also going to Quinnipiac, a junior defender. Shout out to her. Where's Hayden Young going?
Oh, Hayden Young. I'd have to look that up.
I'm looking it up. I'm on it. I'm Googling Young. Hayden. I like her game. Here we go. Quinnipiac.
How about
Is it
Quinnipiac?
Quinnipiac or is it, hold on? Yeah, Quinnipiac. Another Quinnipiac. Wow, Quinnipiac is that's another school that's killed the island. Done, the island well in the 25 class. Binghamton and Quinnipiac. I'm giving them, and I thought Stony Brook did well too. Forget all the powerhouses; they always do well. But I'm talking about the ones that are. I thought Stony Brook getting Pettit and Bright was a coup.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Definitely a coup. What'd you think?
I feel like it's like a package type deal, like considering they're from the same school, same class. Like you can't have one without the other because they're going to be so instrumental in what Commack does.
While we're talking about Stony Brook University women's lacrosse, let's talk about, before we jump into the free agent team, let's talk about what we're going to be doing with you doing the play-by-play and your special guests that you're bringing in. You're like Peyton and
Yeah.
Eli.
Yeah, so what we're going to be doing as it pertains to the broadcasting for the Winter League. So I'll be doing a lot of the play-by-play of all the games, but joining me for these games, we're going to be having color analysts from the Stony Brook women's lacrosse team. So we have a whole staff lined up. It'll kind of be a rotation throughout the day and throughout the league of different players on the women's team. So some of the players that we'll have that I'll be joined by Francesca Tortora. She's actually from Syracuse. So she's from upstate. But we got her, and actually shout out to her because she kind of organized the whole thing, just like getting girls from the team that were interested. So just kind of want to shout out her. But we also have Francesca Vitoriti. She's an island girl from Harbor Fields. We got Hayden Eisfeld, the state champ from last season out of Bayport. We have also Aaliyah Jones, goalie out of Texas. So looking forward to working with Aaliyah. We got Kylie Budke, the former Mount Sinai Mustang. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Just getting able to really hear players' perspective, like players on the college team, and getting their perspective of what they're seeing on the field from these Winter League games.
Yeah, it should be interesting. And as we lead into the last team, girls team, let's talk about the Excelsior free agent team. One of the reasons we put this team together was there's a lot of kids that want to play in the league, but their high schools don't have enough kids. So we had gotten a few, like Longwood High School and William Floyd High School, who played in the past. So they kind of spearheaded this, and we got a bunch of kids, and then we got kids that wanted to play. Like, I mean, arguably one of the best seniors, right? Kayla Gilmore is going to be on this team.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can argue that girl can ball, right?
Absolutely. Gilmore, of course, going to Maryland.
Dude, that kid can play. And a little shout out to her mom, who coached the Shorn-Winning River girls soccer team. I didn't know that. Did they win the States? I know they went to the States.
I don't know. I don't know.
I know they went there, so that was pretty cool. I got to see that in various media sources. So Kayla will be leading this crew of Emily Clemens, who's going to Pitt, who's a Kings Park girl.
Mm-hmm.
Emma DeMeo, lefty attackman from excellent lefty attackman from William Floyd. Alana Fikes and Ava Franco, Grace Galvin, Emma Jean Greenberg, probably one of the top defenders.
Top defenders. Yep.
Emma Jean, isn't that a Michael Jackson song? Is that a Michael Jackson song, Emma Jean?
You're thinking of Billie Jean, but
oh, thank you.
I get your drift.
Thank you. I was going to sing, but I don't think you want to hear that. Another Longwood stud, Olivia Hollingsworth, Grace Hoffman, Apiqua, Olivia Kalin, another Longwood girl. I'm naming all the upperclassmen. Peyton Noyak, which she commit to Bryant.
I got to double check that one.
I believe it's Bryant. Andy Pettitelli, her, the Bellport girl.
Yep.
Excellent. Kendi Radizel, another Northwood stud. Ava Rivera, another Longwood stud. Kate Ross, we're going to get to see the LILJ superstar from my boy Ellis's alma mater.
Shout out to the Crusaders.
Let's go, LILJ. Then we got some young guns. Danielle Perfetto, one of the top 27 midfielders on the island. Maddie O'Hagan, another superstar out of Seaford. Tess Matoza out of Locust Valley. Olivia Malott out of Cold Spring. Autumn Mailing out of Manhasset. Casey M out of Manhasset. Did I mention Grace Hoffman from Pequot? I think I did.
Yeah, you
Deanna
did.
German from Wheatley. And that, I think I named the whole roster. And then Grayson Denahan, a Manhasset attackman, will be playing, but won't be playing till January because she has prospect days. But this team is talented. It'll be coached by the assistant coach at Longwood High School, Jimmy Fernandez, who's an excellent lacrosse coach and good man. So shout out to Jimmy for coaching up these kids, because I think that's gives these kids opportunity. We got Maya Quinones on defense and Lauren Robinson. So I think I named, in the goal, little Piper Noyak, an 8th grader. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this Excelsior team kind of gels and meshes together. Again, like sometimes it just takes time, but definitely no shortage of talent on this team. That's for sure.
Yeah, we have 5 boys games with 8 minutes to go. So we're going to start into the 7:45 game. I'll let my boy Ellis talk about the Kellenberg Firebirds and the Mustangs from Mount Sinai, the Stangs, as we call them.
Yeah, so let's we could start with Kellenberg here, because we got to see them in the spring last season against Wantagh. That was a competitive game. But I'm looking forward to seeing Kellenberg, another new program in the high school winter league. Looking forward to see how they kind of utilize the winter league, but they got some good players on this team. I mean, you got Michael Felicetti. He's a big part of what they're gonna do. Michael Anzalone, you can call that Michael squared, I guess. But I think those are gonna be the two that like really ignite this team. And they have a game like they could start off on the right foot going up against Mount Sinai here. Because
Mount Sinai's young. I mean, they have a couple of freshmen, but they're young. I mean, the kid Massaro, whose face is off, we've seen him face off, but he's young. I'm very curious to see how this matchup, and Oppenheim's little brother, Coretta's little brother, the star is Lucas LaForge. Will they have an answer to cover him, the Michigan commit?
Yeah, that's the big one. You got to stop offensively if you're Kellenberg.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how the young gun Massaro does against the face-off acts, if they can control the ball.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that they haven't had a problem with the last few years, of course, with Spallina, and then before that Oppenheim. So it'll be interesting to see this Mustangs team, because they definitely have a lot of youth, like you said.
Yeah, the next game at 8:30 brings Hills against Ruston Gold. And Hills is my favorite to win the A's in Suffolk County this year. How about you?
Yeah, we've both been on that Hills bandwagon, but I'm with you. I think this has to be the year. I feel like this is it for them. I mean, not really it, because like some of those guys will be back next year, but
yeah, their 25 class is great.
Yeah. So they'll have another year after this season, but I feel like this could really be the beginning for them of like at least getting to the Long Island Championship game. Like they've been building something for the last couple of years now. Of course, with Anthony Rayo, kind of starts with him on the UNC bound midfielder. But also in that class, Joe Filardi going to Cuse. He's another one of those. He's like an electrifying player as a pole. Like, watch out for him on the offensive end. Like
I agree.
He reminds me of like what Drew Miller was for Northport.
Yes. Different size, but very similar. He can change the game. He can score. He can defend. He can run the field. He can control the middle of the field. Yeah, he's an athlete, and then all the parts that go with him. I mean, the kid who faces off of them, Nico Jikas, is going to Air Force. Very talented.
Yeah, Jikas. I like their goaltending too with Sal Santoro. I think they have stout goaltending. I think we like Ryan Chung as like kind of like a guy who does all the little things between the lines type of player, stuff that may not show up in the box score, but has an impact on the games.
Yeah, I talk about that kid all the time. I think that kid, wherever he ends up, he's going to help a team win. You need players like Ryan Chung to be successful.
Yeah. And then just some of the other players like James Bruno, Luke Bradley, like this team can score.
Yeah, they're going to fill up the sheets. They're definitely going to fill up the sheets. And then defensively, they got obviously Filardi and in the net, and then Ben Voigt and a couple more defenders. But I'm curious to see how Rust and Gold is their second year in the league, and they got some talented young players here.
Yeah, they do. Like, I mean, you could start on their offense. You could start with Roger Testa, both Testas really. The Testa brothers, Roy just at 27, so not available just yet for all you college coaches.
Yeah, stay away. You'll have plenty of time to talk to Roy, and you'll enjoy it, and you'll enjoy every moment of it.
But no, they have some players that can fill it up too, like Spencer Simbler, Brady McKeon, Kevin Burns, Sam Bruno. We're big fans of the Brunos.
Yeah, absolutely. The Bruno brothers are definitely they got good defenders too. I'm curious. Matt Golia is coming off an injury. I'm curious to see how he does. Coming off that injury defensively. I'm looking at Rex O'Connor, Jack Romano. This should be a formidable bunch. I think this team will definitely compete well in this league.
Yeah, I like their goaltending too, between Gennady and McKenzie.
Yeah, they're good in the net too. They're strong in the net. The next game of the night at 9:15 is going to be the Chaminade Flyers, as they call them, Flyers, against a young Express team, the 27s, coached by the great AJ Haugen. I guess start with the rookies. Start with the young guns. You know this crew well. I don't really know this crew as well as you probably know it.
Yeah, so I got to see them not like as the Express team, but I got to see some of these kids over the summer at events like Excelsior. So we got Roy Testa, Sean Tachillo, like those are guys that can play. Expect them to kind of fill it up. Andrew Ianu, Nick Hogan. So they have some good players on this team. Look,
it's Patrick Forthofer. He's a defender, right?
Yeah, Forthofer. That's Riley's brother.
Yep. And then I see Panagopoulos. I saw that kid play this summer.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Shikatano in the net. Schwarz is the West Islip kid, right?
Yeah.
Robertelli, Southside kid, right?
Robin
Snyder, that's Tommy Snyder's little brother. Yeah, Alex Vitale, I know him. He's a CSH kid. Yeah, they're opening up against the big boys, though, huh?
Yeah, it'll be tough. They're going up against the reigning Winter League champs.
Yeah, and the Chaminade kids are men.
Yeah, those are some big kids.
Yeah,
I feel like anytime I'm like standing next to someone from Chaminade, I feel like the journalist Ken Rosenthal.
Sure.
I feel like him. I'm so freaking short, and I'm standing next to these mammoths of human beings.
Yeah. They grown big in Chaminade. They must